Hello, one day is Wednesday, October 29th, 2025. Is your update for Thursday, the 30th. All right, let's go. Well, as far as setups, let's keep these in here with Flux obviously being an honorable mention. Crazy, super risky on that one, but interesting nonetheless. We'll take a look at those in just 1 second. In fact, let's hop into that right now. Not a whole lot to report in the portfolio. Slight down day. Obviously, after some promise earlier in the day, here's the Flux. I still think it has potential. Of course, as usual, make sure you wait for an entry on something like that, and on anything for that matter. NRGV is another one. Again, wait for an entry on that. And finally, for setups, ALM. Just again, wait for an entry on these. There's still some gold setting up in here. Gold's at a bit of an inflection point, as I've been saying quite a bit. There's also some of these continued crypto type of stocks, but make sure you wait for an entry on that with Bitcoin being a little questionable. We'll take a look at that in just 1 second. Obviously, that one's copper, but these other ones up here, these capital markets, are Bitcoin related. Hive still looks like it has potential, but wait for it to take out this pivot point if you did take the original setup, if you use a little discretion on that opening gap reversal. Let's take a look at the portfolio, and then let's pop out to the overall market. I want to look at quite a few things tonight with the overall market, or show you a few things. ABCL kind of flat through off the chop it around. It just continues to hang in there. It looks okay. You know me, I like to see bang out some new highs sooner rather than later, but overall it still looks okay. ATAI still looks okay, a little choppy, but for the most part, it has worked its way higher for quite some time. KYTS getting whacked a little bit. This one is a bit of a crazy one. Not the end of the world just yet, maybe just a bit of a knockout move there. But again, you know me, I want to see new highs. Hive, Flatsville there, it still looks like it has potential, as I just said, especially if it takes out that pivot point. KGC tried to rally, came back in, up a smidge if you squint your eyes. 22 remains a stop on that one, which is right below the low, and that would be a good time or good spot, I would imagine, to get out. These goals, again, at a bit of an inflection point. TFPM, same sort of action there, too. Tried to rally, came back in. Watch this recent low, and then obviously our stop's a little ways away from that, but if we take out the low, then it would obviously be in trouble. In UAI, corrected a little bit, but this thing's been on a tear, obviously. On your stop, just in case you know the routine. ABB. Let's take a look at, excuse me, that was my own little nomenclature there. Let's take a look at the overall market and drill down a little bit. I think I might just plow through these sectors tonight. Might be able to get through them a little bit more quickly. S&P 500 tried to rally, came back in, bouncing around quite a bit. Outside day down, but not the end of the world. Closing, Flatsville, and it's just off of all-time high. So far, so good. That's looking pretty good. Nice little breakout from the last little consolidation remains intact. AI doing pretty good right here at all-time highs. All in great in the world, though. Some areas like cybersecurity breaking down a bit after failing to break out to brand new highs decisively. Nasdaq Composite closed at all-time high, so I'm certainly not going to argue with that. That's looking pretty darn good. Rusty 2000, it's stuck in a range once again. It looks okay longer term, but it's chopping around this little sideways range. You know me. I'd like to see it break out and not look back for a while. Bitcoin selling off fairly hard. Wait for it to make new highs before getting too excited. It still looks toppy. As long as these lows holding here, I think we're okay. But anything below that, all bets are off. Gold, the commodity, tried to rally, came back in. Still looks pretty good longer term, but gold, especially gold stocks, are now at a bit of inflection points. If we take out these pullback lows, I would become very concerned there. Broker dealer, bit of a bummer, stalling at the top of his range, coming right back in to the middle of its range. Other financials or financials overall, not looking so hot. They got whacked fairly hard today, as you can see. Banks also not looking too good in here. They too are getting whacked fairly hard, down nearly 1.75%. Regional banks are getting hit fairly hard too. Software selling off fairly hard after failing to bang out new highs with vigor, so that's obviously a bit of a bummer. Biotech remaining in a pretty serious uptrend off its best levels today, obviously, though, closing in the minus column. Defense, Flatsville, so far so good. You'd hate to see it pull back below this recent little breakout in here, but so far it looks okay. Lithium leading the way in the metals and mining, banging on new highs with a little bit of vigor. Metals and mining overall, so it looks like it has potential to rally out of a pullback. Now, it could probably take out these lows and still be in an uptrend, but that would be a pretty good inflection point to keep an eye on. Some areas like foods banging out new lows with vigor, but I wouldn't get too excited about that. That's more of a defensive areas. Back to the upside, semiconductors brand new high, so that certainly and obviously a good thing. Telecom, when these areas stalling out and stalling shy, or I should say it's stalling out, trying to reach its old highs. So that's a bit of a bummer. Real estate got whacked pretty hard today. It's been a little sideways and all over the place, and I'm not seeing anything I want to go after here anyway, but you can see that's getting whacked. Just another one of those sectors that's not doing so hot. So it is fairly mixed out there, even though the market is just off of brand new highs. Retail, as you can see, getting hit fairly hard, looking sort of toppy. So we could have a little bit of sector rotation in the works. Let's just keep an eye on things. And again, and as usual, take things one day at a time. Everybody have a fantastic night. If you have any questions, Dave@Landry.com, or hit me up in Facebook. Thank you so much.